and I've been rich so until it levels out. I'ma take your mama to the Marriott and belly flop. Took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can. Yeah. Super fly for the plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. With that, let's head up to Nashville for the Titans home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan ball club entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can be well set up for the rest of the year.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. It'll be Matt Ryan leading him under center, the 11th-year quarterback, four-time Pro Bowler, and the MVP of the league in 2016.
Matt Ryan has thrown for more yards in his first 10 seasons than any quarterback in NFL history. And what I like most about his game is willingness to prepare. This guy spends more time in the film room, analyzing opponents and his own team's strengths, and then plays to them.
It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. Defensively, starting lineup now for Tennessee. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to it. To throw is Ryan. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Kyle Van Noy in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Ryan on 2nd down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Third and long. It's Ryan. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's second and goal. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. LeGarrette Blount, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so... So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. Second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
We got three.
A first carry now for Rex Burkhead. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that the defense gets excited about.
Play action here with Rosen. He sets to fire deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen, but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They go play action here on first down. Man open left side, it's Williams. At the end of one, they're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Ryan now off the bootleg. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Ryan. It's caught left side by Cooks. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Ryan now going to try to run the option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He lost.
Cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
That's good contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Rosas puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Leopard!
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And now it's Rosen looking. Steps away. Now he'll throw deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long here for Rosen. This is caught by Antonio Brown. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a first down.
We saw everything we needed to see right there. Timing, anticipation, and accuracy. And when Josh Rosen throws a slant, if you're the receiver, get your hands up. Otherwise, the ball's going to stick right between your numbers in your chest.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. Again, it's Rosen. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Carl Lawson in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, and I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what?
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Ryan now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Ryan. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he'll take it down deep into Tennessee territory. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now it's Ryan. This will be caught just inside the 10. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing again. Ryan. This will be caught at about the 5. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To throw again is Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. In for the score. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong,
And that's caught inside the 35. A big... Play there just before halftime. 42 yards. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop. Seconds to go here in the first half. Now Rosen on first down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. After the interception, here's Ryan. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, come on, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. They go play action. It's Rosen. He finds an opening past the 40. On the crossing route, complete. That's Brown. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And there's a man they call AB. Always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds the number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. For Brown, that's his 5th catch. So 5 catches over 50 yards. You might as well set your watch to that. He does it every game.
Think about 2013. The only player in NFL history to have at least 5 catches and at least 50 yards in every single game in an NFL season. So that's not just talent. That's durability. That's dependability. That's a guy who really wants to play each and every week.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
But that's all about doing the... Dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
Still first down.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Here's Blunt. Star Latulele in on the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Chandler Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. On second down, Ryan. And Cooks has it over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 7 yards.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Encroachment, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Still first down.
So a first shot. They go play action now. Ryan. He's airing it out for Williams. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield, and you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On second down, here's Ryan. A screen here to Vereen. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. It's as well as we start the fourth. The Texans on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Ryan. And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. Jordan Jenkins in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. They get the sack on the blitz, but it was 3rd and inches. Are you surprised like I am they weren't running the football there?
I'm right there with you. I would have thought at worst, quarterback sneak, try and pick up the first down and move on. But instead, I think they thought they could catch him by surprise and maybe hit something deep.
So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. Rolling to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Derek Morgan in there to drop him for a loss on the play. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
All right, now look at 56.
Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And no, it's incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They go play action with Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Ready, back 25.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Again, here's Blunt. And a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. It gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Andre Howe. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
To throw is Ryan. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets them 8. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Here's Ryan. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Shane Vereen, his his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Matt Ryan now breaks the huddle. His guys will go for 2. Now it's Ryan. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On second down, here's Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now a carry for Blunt. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Texans, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Day.